So I thought I'd go ahead and show you around my home apothecary. I have things in different areas, and I have a lot of items uh, as far as my herbal and body care and all that. And that's because I work with clients. Sorry about the friskies down there. This is my skincare area plus my incense area, and I've got a few other items. Here's my Ditch the Drugstore foraging bag. And some herbs from when we were out foraging last time. And this shelf here, it contains all of my bottles and items I use to put the like pump bottles for lotions and little essential oil dropper bottles and tincture dropper bottles and roller bottles, and all kinds of bottles are on this shelf, as well as tins and things like that. So I'm always ready to go. I get called all the time to help out in the community, and I'm ready at all times. This room is part of our food storage, but this is also part of my herbal preparations. And this is a very dark, cool room, the coolest, darkest one in the house. And this is where I store a lot of my tinctures. So I've got these 3 shelves are filled with prepared tinctures of different kinds. And then if you come on over here, I have this shelf that's filled with herbs and more tinctures. And this shelf that is also filled with herbs and more tinctures. And I've actually cut way back on the number of herbs that I store now. I've managed to reduce the number that I have. I think I used to have about double this before we moved here to Idaho, but I had so many herbs I didn't need that here's where I'm at now with herbs. We're in a really good place. And here are my essential oils. I am an herbalist and I am an aromatherapist. I am registered with professional organizations at the level 2 level, and I'm working on my clinical studies right now at level 3, which is the highest level. And I believe very strongly that essential oils have a place in your herbal practice. I am primarily an herbalist, and I love that I can go outside and pick plants or grow plants like this ginger right here that's growing, and the sumach that you see right outside. And I love that. But the thing is your essential oils, if you have a little collection, can be a wonderful tiny apothecary for your home. These are a few of my herbal resources, and these are just a few of them. I have another shelf in another room where I actually house my library of books, and I've got probably twice as many herbal books in there as I have here. But these are the ones that I use most often, and I just love, love, love my herbal books. I think everybody needs to have an herbal resource library. Here are a few of my made preparations already. And I have these, not very organized actually, they're kind of scattered around the house, but this is where I keep a lot of things that I have a feeling I'm going to need to use. And they're here. Whoops, that's kind of big. But anyway, tinctures, pre-made, that are already in dropper bottles. And then I also have them around the house where we use them. So like if I use an herbal preparation often in the bathroom, then I have them in there. So I've got several in the bathroom, I've got several in the kitchen, and then my husband has his own places too. So the way we use our herbs is they're kind of all over the place, because there are some that I use on a daily basis. So I just wanted to talk with you very quickly about getting your herbal apothecary going, getting it started. What does that even look like? What does it feel like? So what I'm going to do is share with you how I got mine started, and then my advice for you. Because when I started learning herbalism long ago, it was before the internet was really a thing, and you couldn't even take online classes. And I was very random about how I picked and chose my herbs and how I learned, and it was really hard at first because I didn't have a person to learn from. There was no YouTube back then to go look things up, and there was no Google actually at that point. It was I think Google had just started, and I was not familiar with it, so I didn't have a person to go to. I had to learn a lot through experience and just through reaching out to, people who I thought might be able to help me. And it was a long, slow, tedious process, to be honest. I relied heavily on books. And then when I started making my own preparations, I decided to start selling them on an online platform called Etsy, which you're probably familiar with. And I quickly obtained a huge customer base back then. And that was many, many years ago. I since stopped selling because I started selling herbal preparations before I realized that there were rules that I had to follow. And so even though the things that I was creating were very safe and very effective, I didn't want to get in trouble. So I closed my store down and I started Healing Harvest Homestead, which was meant to be at that time a place where I could share my recipes with my customers because they were a little upset that I had stopped selling my products. But anyway, for you, it'll look a little bit different. What I've noticed from my students, and I've had thousands of students over the years since I started teaching and sharing, which was back in 2013. But what I noticed is that people get all excited about learning herbalism. They go online. They feel like they can learn it from YouTube and different bloggers online. And they quickly realize that one, the information is overwhelming. And number two, people are telling you different things. And that doesn't mean that what they're saying is wrong. It's just that different herbalists have different ways of doing things and also different belief systems as well. And you really need to be careful of the particular herbalist philosophy. So I happen to be a Christian herbalist. I do believe that God created the plants for us to use because he loves us. And the plants are perfect in every way, shape, and form. And I feel like they're the best medicine. And I don't hesitate to share that. However, in some circles, that's a very unpopular viewpoint because the New Age view of Mother Gaia and divine goddess worship has really taken off, it seems, in the world. And, that's where I think if you're a Christian herbalist, you need to be a little bit careful because it's very easy to get sucked into a lot of that. In fact, I've known a couple of Christian herbalists who have gone the route of Wicca, and I was actually looking into that at one point too because I thought you could be a Christian witch. Well, you can't. It's not possible. The two do not align at all in any way, shape, or form. So you have to decide where your belief system lies and choose an herbalist who is aligned with how you think and feel, because otherwise you're just going to be really confused. And I can attest to that as well. So I've learned from a number of different herbalists, you can probably tell, over all of the years. And I do have my favorites. I have my ones that I turn to still for advice and for direction. And I just love them. And anyway, I hope that I'm that person for other people one day. But anyhow, in terms of your herbal apothecary, you need to have an assortment of different herbs. So this, you can have different herbal infused oils. You can have different tinctures. You can have different acetums. You can cook with your herbs. Cooking with your herbs and spices is one of the best ways to get the health benefits of the herbs into your body and your family's bodies. And guess what? If you have children, you can easily put a tablespoon of nettle powder in different foods and soups and stews. They won't even know it's there. And they're going to be getting the vitamins and minerals from the plants. So it's really amazing. Anyhow, creating your own herbal apothecary, blending your own herbal teas, creating your own infusions and your tinctures from the plants that grow in your yard or nearby or are wild foraged is exciting and fun. And it's something that I've been doing for, so long. And I'm so blessed to not have had to take any over-the-counter or prescription medications in about 10 years now. And I manage our health concerns naturally, and that even includes my high blood pressure and hypertension. And it is a blessing. So anyway, I'm getting ready to do some free trainings for you on ditching the drugstore. Those trainings are going to be coming up next week for about 2 weeks. So if you want to get on a special list so that you can be notified when these trainings come up, I hope you'll join us. You can find that link in the description below. All you have to do is click on it and you will be automatically signed up to receive the notifications. You'll also be added to my newsletter list. And if you don't want that, you can always unsubscribe. It's not a big deal. But anyway, I'm planning on giving you a few different workbooks and things like that. We're going to make some home remedies together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you'll join us. All right, let's ditch that drugstore, you guys.